Yes, guys. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel, the Kudus and Richy show. But still work to do. Guys, please smash the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't. Much appreciated. Look, Thomas Frank's first game in charge with a 3-0 win over Burnley. Sounds comfortable, right? But the performance, I think, wasn't as straightforward as the scoreline suggests. So I'm going to break it down to you. Let's start off with the lineup. Bergvall and Gray, surprise starters in that midfield today alongside Sarr. The back five was the predicted back five. And then we saw Johnson come in on the left. We saw Richarlison up front and Kudus on the right. Look, I think we started the game really fast, putting Burnley under a lot of pressure. And getting that early goal really helped. Such fantastic wing work from Kudus. So that's why we brought him in there. Wasn't it just great to see an actual winger in the side? We've been crying out for him for such a long time. And it was all about him. And what a good finish from Richarlison as well. Really good finish. But after that, I felt we were a bit sloppy. I didn't really like the rest of that first half performance. Burnley grew in confidence. I felt that they had desire to win the ball back. Our passing was sloppy. We didn't have control of that game. And look, they didn't have any amazing chances, Burnley. But it wasn't what I expected. We didn't dominate the ball, although the possession stats show it. Burnley were really trying to get back in that game. And I wasn't too pleased with how that rest of that first half played out. So I was kind of thinking second half, we needed to come out with a bit more intensity, put more pressure on Burnley, try and get that second goal, take the game away from Burnley. And again, what we saw was Kudus. Again, fantastic wing play and a brilliant cross to find Richarlison. And what a goal, guys. What a volley, scissor kick, whatever you want to call it. Fantastic goal. And 2-0. And look, you got to praise Richarlison. He scored 2 goals. He did his job as a striker. And brilliant. And after that, he also did some brilliant hold-up play to lay the ball into Sarr. Sarr with a great pass to Johnson. And Johnson had the pace and the composure to make it 3-0 on 66 minutes. And basically, that was game over. Look, Burnley, you look at the stats. They had quite a few shots, didn't they, really? I mean, I'll get the stats up. Let's have a look. The stats show expected goals. It was 2.33 to Spurs, 1.10 to Burnley. We had 16 shots to Burnley's 14. Our keeper made 4 saves there. Keeper made 3. Corner kicks fairly even as well. We outpassed them 512 to 240. We beat them on tackles. What else? Another interesting stat for me was the touches in the opposition box. We had 26, they had 25. So we gave them plenty of opportunities in the game. We didn't have that control, maybe because that was Bergvall and Gray in there. I felt Gray did grow into that game in the second half. So did Bergvall. There was a couple of nice pieces of play from Bergvall in the first half. But we didn't really have that shield in front of the defence, I felt. And Burnley managed to get at us more times than I would have thought had happened today. They did try, Burnley, they did try and attack us and create opportunities. They just don't have the quality. And what won us that game was just good moments of play. We got better players, Kudus magic. Richarlison really put in a good performance. I did like Sarr's performance, I've got to be honest. He really put in a lot of work in that midfield, a lot of running. He was involved, obviously, in the third goal. And again, grew in strength throughout the game. I think after that third goal, the game was done. Spurs made a load of changes. I can't remember any really good chances after that, but the game was won. And it was a good performance. It really was. So look, positives from the game. I'd say a clean sheet from Richarlison. 2 well-taken goals. Kudus, fantastic. What a player. what a player. As I said, Saar was excellent. Bergvall and Gray, you know, they did okay, but I would much prefer us to be starting with our best midfielders. You know, the likes of Paulinho, Bentancur in there. But I guess Frank thought, you know, we could win the game with Bergvall and Gray. And, you know, I understand that. It's a home game. We're going to have all the ball, all the possession. But look, you know, a bit of work to do with those two, I guess. The concerns for me is that we gave Burnley far too many opportunities. At times we were losing possession. We lacked that control. And, yeah, you know, we can't play like that against better opposition. Again, but I do think it's down to that kind of that shield in the midfield. You know, without the likes of Paulinho and Bentancur in there, I think you know, Gray and Bergvall, young players, a lot of work to do with those two. But you know, honestly, it was a good performance. 3-0. I did predict a 3-0. Work to do. I think what that game shows you is that we need that attacking outlet on the left, don't we? Somebody like Kudus on the left, crying out for it. Johnson took his goal well, but other than that, didn't do too much in the game. Bit of a passenger up until that goal. We need creativity on that left, and also we need creativity in the middle. That attacking midfielder is crucial, and obviously the links to Eze are growing day by day. We hear the news today that he's going to be left out of the game against Chelsea tomorrow. Spurs must get that deal over the line, and they also must get Savinho in over the line. And I think if we can drop those two players into the starting lineup, yeah, it will improve us massively. Guys, you've got to remember, as Burnley today just promoted, we were expected to win. It was straightforward in the end. But again, I just did not like how we kind of didn't have that control over the game. But as I said, maybe because it was because of those two young players in midfield, we were just a bit sloppy. We weren't on it as much. Second half was better, I thought. So, guys, give us your thoughts on the game. What did you like about it? Obviously, Kudus, fantastic. Richarlison played really well. Yeah, what do you think? Have we got Manchester City next weekend? Completely different opponent, completely different level of team we're playing against, and we need to get Savinho and Eze in by the next weekend. And yeah, that's going to be a completely different game to what we saw today. But look, fantastic start for Frank. 3 points in the bag. Work to do in the transfer window. But yeah, look, good day at the office for Frank. Fan reaction seems very, very happy, really happy with the performance, a lot of positivity. Again, obviously, we won the game 3-0, so that's going to be the case. People thought we were really organised, had good structures to the side. Yeah, we did, but I do feel that we were a bit open. We were a little bit, didn't have that control on the game, and I think we kind of did surrender a lot of opportunities for Burnley, and that's something that Spurs, Frank and his team need to work on, because we're going to play much better opposition at home, and we can't give them kind of level of opportunities to better teams, so we'll get punished. But guys, let me know on the performance. Were you impressed? Do you think that scoreline flatters Spurs a lot? Or do you think it was thoroughly deserved? Leave your comments down below. Guys, thank you for watching the video. Please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't. And as always, come on, you Spurs.